James, I got a very icy cold brew on deck tonight. Have you tried the Reuben's brews?
No, I've had a Reuben sandwich though. Is it very similar?
Oh my God! Everywhere I go, I get a Reuben sandwich.
I voted for Reuben Studdard over Clay Aiken in the second season of American Idol.
Oh.
Does that count?
I voted for Reuven for city council. Reuven, what was his last name? Drew Reuven? I can't remember now. Hi, and welcome to Seattle's #1 comic book podcast. This is the Late Show edition. I'm Paul Schaefer.
I'm Doc Severinsen.
No, you're David Letterman.
Oh, okay then.
No, I am Larry.
Isn't he the band leader?
No, Doc Severinsen was the band leader for the
Carson.
Tonight Show.
Yeah.
And I was.
Oh, and you're the Late Show.
I was the Late Show. No, this is Seattle's #1 comic book podcast. The podcast dedicated to the first issue of your next favorite
comic.
And I'm Larry.
I'm James.
No more fooling around, James. James, let me tell you what I'm drinking. It's a Crikey IPA from Reuben's Brew, right in the heart of Ballard, steps away from where I work. And
it's a great promotion.
It's 6.8 alcoholic
Proof.
by volume, whatever that means.
Yeah, APBB.
Yeah, I spell beer IPA.
I'm having an Alaskan Amber myself.
Yummy, yummy, yummy. I love
Amber fan.
that amber stuff. What
Yeah.
those Mexican ambers are good too. The Del Secchios.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
With the burrito.
I'd get Mac and Jacks, but you have to go there and get a growler.
Right. Yeah. Why don't they put that in a bottle yet?
I know.
Right. That's the go-to.
We're Seattle for you, you know.
Yeah,
we gotta represent Seattle.
That's the go-to Seattle beer. Mac and Jacks.
Yeah, it is. Seriously, they have African Amber.
They have it everywhere. All right, so welcome to the show.
Except for the grocery store.
Except for the grocery store. Except at Ken's Market. Welcome to the show. This is episode 78. It's a horror book that we've read this week, Hack Slash. And before we get into that, I want to talk about my most recent Indecent.
All right, let's do it.
I don't know why I'm playing scary music for this. Because
no, you should play scary music for the regular thing. It's a scary book.
Yes, but this was not a scary book. It was intense at times and comical the rest of the time. It is Donald and Mickey, written by Andrea. What is her last name? Castanellan.
Yeah,
and art by Daniel Branay, and it is published by IDW. This came out last week. It's Donald and Mickey Mouse stories. There are 3 of them with a kicker story, which I already talked about in my last recent Indecent.
Yeah.
I'm crazy about
I was going to say, it sounds pretty familiar.
I'm crazy about
what's more classic?
Oh, so in this one, one story is Quackaroony with hot sauce. Donald, like I said before, is always...
I love how, they don't even try, and it's the best.
Oh, it is the best. And if I had read, sidebar, if I had read my most recent issue of Shirtless Bear Fighter, I'm sure that it would have been recent and decent. And I'll talk more about
Bear Fighter?
I'll talk more about Shirtless Bear Fighter later. That's maybe
the greatest comic book title I've ever heard.
And
Shirtless Bear Fighter?
Dude.
At first I was picturing a bear without a shirt. And then I realized that bears already don't have shirts, so it's probably the guy who fights bears without a shirt.
It is a guy who I'm gonna go.
I wanted it to be a bear who was a hunter and he didn't wear a shirt.
He was raised by bears and he doesn't wear any clothes. He's shirtless and pantless for the first part of the book. And they call him in to fight bears that have overtaken the city. He's the shirtless bear fighter. And James, you would absolutely love this book. It's all bear puns. He drives a bear plane.
Bear in the air.
Yeah, it's so funny. Oh, but that's not what I'm talking about because I have not read
it is what we're talking about. Don't deny it.
I have not read my third issue of Shirtless Bear Fighter, but I will tonight. But tonight I'm talking.
Larry. We got priorities in life here.
Tonight I'm
Shirtless
talking
Bear
about
Fighter.
Donald and Mickey. It's the big fat flat blot plot. Now, like I said, there's 4 stories in here. Some of them have been reprinted.
Okay.
But the main story is Donald, and he, like I said before, he's always working, and he's got the best hot dog stand in town. And he's doing so great that he takes the day off. And everybody wants to know where he is and where his amazing duck sauce that he puts on his hot dogs. And it's really kind of gross because
duck sauce on hot dogs?
Most of the people...
Oh, it's probably not like Asian duck sauce.
No, it's his secret sauce. And most of the people who enjoy his crazy hot dogs are pigs. It's gross,
That's
right?
Yeah.
But it gets punny, funny, and so many. The writing is so good in these books because it cuts to the radio station, and of course Silly Willy pushes one of the buttons, and just as there's a terrible story about a crime boss who's doing something awful, gets mixed into where is Donald and his hot dog cart.
Mm-hmm.
And
where is Donald and his hot dog cart? There's problems in the world.
There's problems in the world, and the bottom line is Donald should have never taken the day off because hilarity
never take
ensued.
A day off. That's a great
Yes.
That's a great lesson for us all, Larry. Never take a day off.
Don't stop working. And then there's a great Mickey Mouse story where Mickey and Goofy go up against a guy who can chew some bubble gum and create.
He's all out of bubble gum.
No, he makes himself into a flat piece of paper almost, and then he can do and perform crimes because he has no profile.
It's
nuts.
Sounds like Doodle Bob.
It's great writing. Donald and Mickey. It's $5 comic book though, but you got 52 pages, recent and decent.
All right. Well, that sounds like that qualifies.
Yeah, last week.
Oh, I guess. Yep. All right. So let's get into it.
James, did you feel kind of almost a little bit like last week? I feel like all the tropes were here.
Oh, interesting. I wasn't really looking at it that way, but let's dive into it and see what we see.
All right, give us the setup.
Okay, so we got it's like a horror book with zombie cats and dogs and animals. There's all these kind of zombie animals, and there's our main character is this sexy lady.
Yeah.
It's probably this sexiest cover we've seen. The most sexy is not the right word. But it's in the right direction. Naughty?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that a good one?
It all leans towards the naughty in this book.
Yeah.
That's a great word to describe it. And I originally last week was talking about cheesecake art, and I don't know if it really jumps the shark into full-on cheesecake. I mean, Cassie has normal-sized boobs.
Yeah.
But they're out there.
Yeah, the outfits are pretty ridiculous.
Pretty ridiculous.
Or the abs are.
Yeah. So basically, it's a story about a pair of. Well, there's also a origin story.
Okay. Yeah, how do we want to go? How do we want to order this? Because I think this book does a good job of like pacing out the action and the sex and the backstory and the current story. Like, I think those are all like the four most important elements. And I think they're well balanced in this book.
I thought it was a great first issue with a lot of just stuff. There's just so much like we meet Cassie, and she has lured this serial. Well, they're always
Wait,
like
let's
slasher
just grab
killers.
Cassie.
Well,
Yeah, Cassie, she's like black hair. She wears like all black leather stuff, but it's like there's a lot of fishnet and like high heel type in short skirt type outfit.
Yeah,
shortcut hair that could be like sometimes she wears it with bangs and sometimes with like really little ponytails or what, like.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know if
like cutesy punk.
Yeah, cutesy. There we go. I was looking for. I was doing like the specific things, and you got the big word for me, Larry.
Yeah,
Punk.
well, but that's not what she's wearing when we meet her. And the first time we meet her, she is in a very skimpy cheerleading outfit, and she has walked away into the Forbidden Forest with the coach.
With the coach, who seems like he's up to no good.
And he is, right? And he is so bad at his. So the coach, we later find out, is a slasher, and the slasher.
They slash people
from the traditional slasher movies is going to kill teenagers in the woods.
Yeah, and so it's like the setup, like, oh, hey, we're slipping out to have sex, and there's like the sexual innuendo of like, oh, I got a little surprise for you. And then he comes back with like a knife and he's going to stab her in the back. But you turn the page and even crazier, bigger slasher guy with like a giant, I don't know, butcher knife, but like saw blade stabs him right through the chest.
Yeah. And puts this guy down, and you think that it's done. And that's the joke. So they take these slasher movie tropes and they make the joke about it, like, so he's dead out in the field, full moon, and they wait for him to pop back to life, because that's what happens in the slasher movie. Only this one, it's a dud. It's like lighting a firework that's a dud, and he doesn't pop back to life.
He doesn't come back.
He's a mere mortal, but like at the same time, a homicidal maniac who has in the past killed cheerleaders at cheerleader camp.
Yeah.
So these two people,
if you kill cheerleaders at cheerleader camp, you don't get a lot of sympathy coming from my end of the microphone.
Right. So at
save the cheerleaders.
So in this particular case, it is just straight up these two people, and in 3 pages they kind of put down what these two people do.
Yeah, it was a pretty quick but not like super wordy at all.
Yeah, so this is what they're doing.
She's the bait, she can handle her own, and then there's like a big strong guy to help her out.
Right. And then we jump into backstory, and it's funny because like they even give you like the headline, The Strange Story of Cassie Hack.
Mm-hmm.
And I love this backstory. Isn't it gory?
Yeah, I just want to pause for a second, though. I don't like her name. Cassie Hack.
You could have
Hack slash?
You could have Cassie Hack. That could be a name in high school.
I mean, it could be, but it's such a...
You could know somebody named Cassie Hack.
But you made the name so then you could do the title. Hack slash, but even that...
Right.
I don't know.
All right. It might be a reach. It might be a reach.
That was it. It's just something that gets me sometimes, I guess. I don't care that much.
So give us the quick story here, James. She goes through she's an orphan. No, she's not an orphan. She's being raised by her overbearing mother.
Yeah, and she there was like a lunch lady